you could say, by following it, I am like living the best life. And so that could be like an afterlife, I guess would be the most obvious way of doing it.
Yeah, but the problem is you're getting into so many like everything is getting so normatively loaded there in ways that I don't believe mathematical truths are. Like one banana and one banana gives you two bananas. If you want to argue there's some normativity there, you can get really esoteric with it. But for the most part, these are just like descriptively true things that are happening, I think, before any normativity. But if I say something like, oh, well, if you believe in the moral truths, you'll live the best life. Like the best life, like that's almost begging the question, right? Well, the best life in terms of what? In terms of the morality you're telling me to live? Well, of course, I'll live the best life following your morality because your morality dictates the best life. But that's circular in a very unsatisfying way that doesn't give us any type of like material presence at all, I think.
But you agree that when we're talking about like one or two or three bananas, that the abstraction of those is not what's providing the material benefit. In that it's the means to gain a material benefit. Like I agree with that, but it's not the actual material benefit.
What do you mean by that?
So if I have an understanding of like numbers, where I can say I have one banana here, one banana here, and then I can go and understand that I'll have two bananas when I combine them, versus not being able to understand that. Having that knowledge is not actually the material benefit in and of itself. It's the means to get there.
Oh, you're talking about kind of like an instrumental view on
Yeah.
truth. Sure. That is true, and I might lack the vocabulary to explain this, but like whether you agree with those mathematical truths or not, like there's going to be applications to them in life that are going to give you like material benefits. Like let's say that you've got a tribe full of people and they can all get two bananas and you need 100 bananas. If you get 50 people, you will get 100 bananas, right? Like even if you say I don't believe in math, like these are just going to be true, descriptively true things. Like you can deny the power or the realism of math, but it's still going to be effective. It's still going to function, right?
Well, and the other part of that is, so if I'm saying, okay, I have 50 here and 50 here, I want to have a system where it gets to 100. Well, you're begging you're saying that this is 100. And so you already kind of put in, like, in the definition of 100 is that it's equivalent to 50 plus 50. And
I
so
disagree.
It's still within the...
I disagree with that.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying, but I think there's a word game being played there. We can argue over whether it's 100 or cien or whatever the fuck it is in Spanish, or like the symbol is not relevant. It's the concept, right? I'm not saying that like 100 things exist here as like 100, the language abstract concept we have to represent. I'm saying that there are physically 100 different things that one, you can count up to 100 things is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean like in like a mathematical equivalence, like it's mathematically equivalent to 50 plus 50.
Sure.
Right. But that then means that all the operation we're doing there is still within the definitions provided by math, which like not everyone has access to.
But it's still going to be true.
Only within the fact that we understand math.
No, even without an understanding of math, it will still be true.
You could say that about morals.
Maybe the terms aren't true, but like what's happening physically is happening, right? But I don't know if I can make the same statements about morality.
Well, no, you would just say that, oh, it is true just because people don't see it doesn't mean it's not true.
Wait, but what are they not seeing? Like everything,
a moral,
because
objective reality.
Well, yeah, but like everything I'm describing from the mathematical sense, there's like a material thing that we have sense organs to collect data to understand. So somebody can deny all you want. Like, okay, well, I don't care that 50 plus 50 is 100. It's like, okay, well, I can show you 1 plus 1 is equal to 100. And like, I can argue that. And for other humans, I can communicate that. If you don't want to believe it, that's fine. But another person saying that guy murdered him and that thing is bad, that statement has so much normative baggage that I think makes it fundamentally different than the mathematical statement. I think it's way different. I think there's a lot more work on that. I mean, you can argue that it's bad, but the observation of that badness, we either don't have a sense organ to observe it, or there's a whole bunch of other like normative work you have to get to be able to make the statement that it's bad, I think.
It seems like you're not like applying the ability, like you don't give, I don't want to say you're bad faith for this against like that view, but you're not allowing yourself to see the same like concepts within morality versus like math. So like it just doesn't see it like if you drew a Venn diagram, you would have all the same properties in some people can access it, some people cannot. There's different like degrees of
Well, but
access.
even that I would disagree with. I don't believe that math is inaccessible. I think that's an a priori condition to having a human brain. I don't think that there are people that can't, unless you're talking severe brain injuries, like somebody's missing half the brain or something. I think that math is a precondition to human thought, like language.
Um, that, but you could say the same about morals.
But I don't believe that, and I don't think that can be demonstrated because I can get every single
Well,
person in
but
the
I don't
world
think
to
you can
agree.
demonstrate math either.
Okay, I think I guess I feel like to an alien civilization we could express math, but I don't think we could morality.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But I think that says something about like the truth condition of each thing. That mathematics is a much raw, like descriptive, true thing, whereas morality is requires so much more normative loading to get there.
Um,
Like I could show,
kind
like I could
well,
have an alien in front of me, and I could put like one. I'm pretty sure we put this in that disc in like fucking Voyager 2, whatever. But like I could try to express mathematical propositions to an alien creature, and then they could nod and understand. I don't even know how I would begin to express moral propositions.
so well, but that's totally based on them having the same sensory inputs. Like, because if they have different sensory inputs, then it wouldn't necessarily follow that they use the same like rules to construct
Possibly,
their.
I can't even
Yeah.
conceive of that. But I mean, I guess that's. I would have to admit that's possible. It's just inconceivable to me. But even to other humans, I can't express morality other than I can express math and the truths that come from the relationship between numbers. But morality, they either agree with it or they don't. I don't know how I could.
Yeah. Well, okay. The it the again, what I was saying is that you're trying to add like a special justification for rationality that you won't give to like just well, because I don't think you should give it to either. You're trying to give a special justification there that while maybe there's slight differences in the way that it actually manifests, and like maybe more humans have access to math than morality, assuming they both exist, which is not necessary. The You're saying you seem to think that it's being justified on one end.
Um, Let me try to restate what you're saying, and you tell me if I agree. So
Yes,
I'm
sorry.
making the argument that math is essentially invented to describe some reality in the world, but the reality in the world can exist without math. So, for instance, like two bananas could exist, but the universe might not have math. That's just a thing that we've kind of invented to describe the relationship between things. But you could also say that, well, morality is an invention in the same way that mathematics is an invention, and that it just describes things that are observed and are seen in the world, essentially. So one person murdering somebody might be wrong in the same way that 1 + 1 = 2 from a moral or mathematical sense, and we could remove mathematics or we could remove morality, but it's still going to be true that murdering someone is wrong and 1 + 1 is 2, kind of like that.
Right. And then it comes down to when it comes to our ability to like necessarily as a whole society kind of see it, where you would say like math is pretty visible to us as a society. We maybe don't have the senses to see certain other things that could be true, that like circularly could be true, and that
Yeah,
math
I understand what you're
is
saying.
no more
I
justified.
just don't find that compelling, I guess. Um, I feel like you can't not believe in math. Like it shows up everywhere. It has an uncanny ability of accurately describing things, and it can be done through any frame of reference, through any perspective, through any human. Like you have to agree on these things to have a human mind. Whereas morality is subject to a ton of debate. There have been people arguing about it forever. I can't observe it anywhere in the universe. I can't use it to make any type of like proposition in like physics or chemistry or whatever else. Like it feels like a totally different type of thing. Like the normativity is just so much more involved in ethics or morality than there is in mathematics. That's just the way that I feel. But I guess you're gonna say
Oh,
that I'm
I mean,
granting too much to math and not enough morality. But I don't know. I don't feel like it's very compelling that.
well, I mean, like normativity is what like a moral ought, right? So it's not like it's not surprising that it's only within morality.
Sure, I'm just saying that like I can't imagine two reasonable minds cannot disagree on math, but plenty of reasonable minds seem to disagree on morality, and it's okay. The universe isn't like exploding on itself. But two reasonable minds will never disagree mathematically. So I don't know. Morality just seems to be fundamentally a different type of thing. Like you can say I'm biased towards math, but I am a bit because it seems to map onto and describe the world, far easier than morality does. And two reasonable minds can't disagree on math the same way they could on morality. It seems like a fundamentally different type of thing.
Well, and I agree that it just intuitively feels like math is more something we can rely on versus morality, but it feels like you could be a lot more careful in then saying, well, this has special ground to stand on, and then I can kind of make judgments against how we should be viewing religion or any moral system that's externally justifying itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
yeah.
I'll keep that in mind, okay?
Yeah. See you, bud.
I love you, bud.
Bye.
Do you want me to autistically push back on your people don't disagree with math bit? If you want to, I'll probably just ban you if you do it. If somebody's going to argue, well, actually, there are some theorems that are debated, you're missing the essence of what I'm saying, and you either are a math major that needs to drop out because you're fucking retarded, or you're just somebody that doesn't understand math, and you're also fucking retarded. You just shouldn't talk about it. That's the easiest permaban in the fucking world. Two reasonable minds do not disagree on mathematical truths. Like, yeah, there's going to be debates on which theorems are true, or there might be debates on like fucking whatever when you get into like super abstract like mathematics or really fundamental mathematics, sure. But like two reasonable minds are not going to disagree on mathematical truths. You can't. Your brain can't do that. That's just not true. But if you want to be like, well, actually, there was some dumb fucking here that I almost permabanned this guy. I should. Do you know does no one do the history of set theory? How do you think ZFC even fucking came about? Like, you're missing the point. I don't know why you, like, I guess you took one math class as part of an engineering major or whatever, or like, no, shut the fuck up. You're wrong. You're just wrong. Then communicated better. If you know what you're talking about, then everything I communicated makes perfect fucking sense. If you want to be a, well, actually kind of guy, then nothing I say is going to convince you. Fucking moron.